Gold is still one of the most desired precious metals on Earth. It is one of the most valuable materials ever pulled from the ground. But before it becomes a shining bar locked inside a vault, miners have to process mountains of rock for just a tiny amount of metal. So how is gold actually made? To find out, we visited the largest gold deposit in the United States and then followed the metal all the way to the largest underground gold vault in the world, one of the most secure places on the planet. Billions of years ago, a rain of meteorites struck the planet, bringing gold with them. For ages, that gold stayed buried beneath the surface, hidden inside the earth, until miners arrived and the race for this bright yellow metal began. During the California gold rush, prospectors did not care where the gold came from. They were chasing the American dream, and gold had the power to make them millionaires. What they did not know was that beneath their feet, there was a sea of gold far larger than anything they could have imagined. Superheated silica carrying gold was forced upward from deep inside the earth, where it crystallized inside veins of quartz. And to supply the world's demand for gold, entire mountains have to be moved. More precious metal is extracted than most people could ever imagine. But gold cannot be mined or processed until it is found. The first step is discovering exactly where it is hidden. Today, most gold is trapped inside rock as microscopic particles, invisible to the naked eye. In northeastern Nevada lies the largest gold deposit in the United States. And the tool used to find gold-bearing rock has been replaced by a giant electromagnetic system, almost like a massive metal detector flying through the sky. It sends a signal capable of detecting magnetized sand and the materials connected to it hundreds of meters underground. Gold is often found inside this sand. Aerial exploration is expensive, but it helps narrow the search. Finding a major mine is extremely difficult, and the financial risk is huge. Out of every 1,000 prospects, fewer than one actually succeeds. Once a vein is located, the drilling machines begin their work. These machines can drill through rock up to 2 kilometers deep. The gold mine in northeastern Nevada is the second largest gold mine in the United States. It belongs to Barrick Gold, the largest multinational mining company in the world. The operation is made up of 2 mines, one underground and one open-pit mine more than 80 meters wide and 450 meters deep. Every day, 6 tons of gold-bearing limestone are blasted apart. During a blast, workers first drill into the rock, then load it with explosives made from ammonium nitrate mixed with fuel. Each blast can use between 700 and 900 tons of ammonium nitrate, breaking apart nearly 600,000 tons of rock. And this is where the true scale of gold mining becomes clear. Each ton of ore may contain only 3 grams of gold. That means it takes an enormous amount of rock to produce just 1 gold bar. Millions of tons of rock must be handled, crushed, and processed, and billions of dollars are needed to extract this mineral. Today, gold is worth $131 per gram, and miners spare no expense to get it out of the ground. This shovel is the largest in the world, and with a price of more than $20 million, it is also one of the most expensive. The haul trucks can carry up to 270 tons of ore, and the shovel can fill them in just 3 scoops. A truck arrives empty and leaves fully loaded in barely 1 minute. The trucks dump the ore, and a conveyor belt carries it into a gigantic, rotating drum. Inside, enormous steel balls grind the rock until it becomes powder. The rock is crushed into sand, then mixed with water to create a thick slurry. From there, the slurry moves into huge tanks for the next stage. Small amounts of cyanide are added to create a very diluted solution. Cyanide is one of the few chemicals capable of dissolving gold. Then, small pieces of carbon are added. These pieces trap the gold from the solution and separate it from the impurities. The gold solution is then treated through electrolysis. An electric current causes the gold to collect on the negative electrode, known as the cathode. But in the Nevada mine, there are tons of gold that cannot be extracted through open-pit mining. So miners go underground, where the search becomes much more expensive and much more dangerous. Half a kilometer below the surface, they enter a dark and strange world made up of 80 kilometers of tunnels. The average temperature down here is around 60 degrees Celsius. To make work possible, the mine uses one of the largest air conditioning systems in the world. To extract the gold underground, miners use the same basic technique as in the open pit. First comes the blast. Then the loaders collect the ore and screen the broken rock until the truck is full. The truck carries the ore back to the surface, where it will be processed. But this gold is covered by a thick crust of sulfide. To break it open, the ore and water are heated to 224 degrees Celsius inside a gigantic chamber. Pure oxygen is added, and under enormous pressure, the crust breaks apart and releases the gold. The gold extracted from both the open pit and the underground mine ends up in the pouring room. The next step is smelting. The material is heated to about 1,100 degrees Celsius. At this stage, each bar is roughly 90% pure gold. Every bar weighs 25 kilograms. But to produce just one of them, miners may have to process up to 8,200 tons of rock. Each bar is about the size of a brick, and it is worth more than $1 million. Every year, around 26 tons of gold leave this mine, equal to more than $1 billion. From here, the gold goes to a refinery, where the remaining impurities are removed. The metal goes through its final stage of cleaning and polishing. The last step is stamping each bar with its purity percentage. More than 190,000 tons of gold have been mined throughout human history, and a large part of that gold eventually ends up in the hands of the Federal Reserve. For more than 80 years, armored vehicles have moved through the narrow streets of Manhattan, carrying millions of dollars in gold deposits in and out of the one Federal Reserve Bank, trusted enough to guard nearly a quarter of the world's gold supply. The gold vault of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York is located in the basement of its main office building in Manhattan. Built in the early 1920s, the vault gives account holders a secure place to store their monetary gold reserves. Much of the gold in the vault arrived after World War II, when many countries wanted to store their gold reserves in a safe location. The amount of gold held in the vault continued to rise and reached its peak in 1973. Shortly after the United States suspended the convertibility of dollars into gold for foreign governments. At its peak, the vault held more than 12,000 tons of gold. Since then, deposits and withdrawals have slowed, and the total holdings have gradually but steadily declined. Even so, the vault remains the largest monetary gold depository in the world. The gold travels in armored trucks surrounded by heavily armed guards. Then the trucks are unloaded. This small stack of gold bars may not look like much, but if you tried to load it into the back of your car, the weight would destroy the tires. Now the bars are taken into the largest underground gold vault in the world. It is valued at more than $380 billion. But what would you do with that much gold? Leave your answer in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it with someone else who might find it interesting. And subscribe to the channel with notifications on to keep learning. See you next time. Here are more videos you might want to watch.